Hi people, and welcome to Yahoo in the Know Furniture Flip. I'm your host Bree, and I'm going to teach you how to transform your old and outdated furniture and turn it into something new. Let's get to it. This nightstand is going to get a complete makeover. I'll be adding burlap to the drawers along with wood trim. It'll be painted white, and then the knobs are going to be painted gold. I got this nightstand off of Craigslist, and I know people don't use Craigslist anymore, but it's still a great way to find furniture. I paid $20 for it. For this dresser makeover, I'll be using a sander along with a 220 grit sandpaper, wood glue to attach the burlap, Bondo to fix any damages, my multi-tool. I'll be using my paint roller to paint, and I'll be painting it this pretty off-white color. This is the wood trim that I'll be adding along the edges of the drawers, my measuring tape, and I'll be using a lighter. And the first thing I always do is clean, so I'll be using this cleaner. This piece has been sitting in storage for a good year, really dirty, so we're just gonna give it a good clean before we start working on it. And now that we're done cleaning, we're gonna get started on scuff sanding. So I'll be sanding down the entire piece with a 220 grit, and that's to make sure that the paint adheres to the dresser. All right, let's get sanding. Okay, so now I'm done scuff sanding, and this piece in the bottom corner has a little bit of water damage. Anytime your furniture has water damage, you can fix it, and you fix it with Bondo. This wood is particle board, and particle board is really prone to water damage. You can tell because it's a little bit raised. I'm going to be using a multi-tool, and we're going to saw it off. If you don't have a multi-tool, you can just use a regular saw or a really sharp blade. I'm gonna take my multi-tool, and I'm gonna take the blade part, and we're gonna shave off the water damage part. You wanna make sure that you're putting a lot of pressure on it and that your feet are flat to the ground. When you take the saw to it, it's going to just break off because it's already damaged. So now all the water damaged wood is off, and now I'm gonna fix the area with Bondo, and then we're going to sand it smooth so it's flat with the rest of the dresser. I'm gonna take a little bit of Bondo, and then we're going to mix it with the hardener. The hardener is what makes the Bondo get hard. And then once the Bondo starts turning blue, that's when you know it's time to use it. You have about 10 minutes to use it once it starts working, because then it gets really hard. Put it on and make it smooth, and that's it. We're gonna let the Bondo dry, and once it's dry, we're gonna sand it so it's flat with the rest of the dresser. And now the Bondo is dried, and you can always tell that the Bondo is dry by just rubbing your hand over it. It's going to be really hard. We're gonna take our sander with a 150 grit, and we're going to sand the Bondo so it's smooth and flat with the rest of the dresser. I'm going to be adding burlap to the drawers, and to do this, you're gonna cut your burlap the size of the drawers, and then once it's cut, I'm gonna take a lighter. Hit the lighter on the burlap. This is going to burn off any of the fuzziness that's on the burlap, so when you put it on the drawer, you don't have to worry about little hairs and fuzz balls coming off. And the reason I do this before I put it on the drawer, that way you don't have to worry about catching the wood on fire or accidentally burning through, because I have done that before. And then to add the burlap to the drawer, I'm just going to be using wood glue. I'm just gonna put the wood glue on the drawer, and then we'll press the burlap paper down. So you wanna make sure to add a good amount of wood glue just to make sure that the burlap does not come off. Then you're gonna take your burlap, and you're just going to place it on the drawer. You just want to put some pressure on it. And after you're done, it should look like that. And then if there's any wood glue that is showing up underneath, it'll dry up clear. Now we're going to add the wood trim pieces to the edge. I'm going to be doing the same thing as the burlap. I'm going to put wood glue on the wood trim, and then we're just going to press it down. I'm going to be using clamps. The clamp is just going to make sure that there is enough pressure on the wood trim. Okay, so now we're gonna let that dry for about 5 minutes, and I'm gonna do the same thing to all the other drawers. I added the burlap to the drawers, and then I added the wood trim around the burlap, and I'm just using a towel to wipe off all the extra sanding dust. So now I'm going to start painting the piece. To paint, I'm going to be using my roller, and then for the wood trim, I'm going to be using my paintbrush, and that's to make sure that I don't get any paint on the burlap. I'm painting it this really pretty off-white color. I'm actually doing a dupe of a dresser I saw online. Originally, I think $600, and we're going to create it for about a total of $50. So when you're painting with a roller, you want to make sure you're going in one direction. That way if the roller does leave any marks, it's just going either straight across or straight down and not going all over in directions if it does leave any marks. This would be really good as a nightstand, a bedside table. My favorite part about this dresser was adding the burlap. I love the texture it gives it, and I just love the boho look. I painted the knobs gold and added them back. Here is the big reveal. I love it so much. It looks completely different. Make sure to stay tuned for more Yahoo in the Know furniture fluff.